Hey, it's Manu with 22 Sound in Mandeville, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans. It's that time of the year again. Black Friday and the holiday season is around the corner. Very exciting times for us as record store owners, but of course also as record lovers, because of course Black Friday is a really big day in the record world. Just real quick, for those of you who might not be familiar with it, on Black Friday each year, a bunch of artists release exclusive records that are coming out in limited quantities, and they're only being released to independent record stores such as ours. So, and they all come out on that same day, on Black Friday. So it's kind of like Record Store Day. You might have heard of that. It's organized by the same people. And yeah, you can't pre-order those records. We as record store owners, we're not allowed to hold them for any of our customers. You really have to be there on that day. It is November 25th, 2022. And for us, we're opening at 10 a.m. that morning, so a little bit earlier than we usually open. So in this video, I want to show you what records to expect on that day, what records we will have here at our store. For more information on the individual records, check out recordstoreday.com. They have more explanation of what makes them special and so on, a little bit of the background to all those many records that we'll have here. Of course, if there are some leftovers, if we have some left after Black Friday, we'll still have them here at the store. We'll still sell them here. And of course, they will be on our website as well, 22soundrecords.com. So if you couldn't get any of the releases, might be worth checking in the days after Black Friday. And just one little thing for our local customers I would like to point out, we're also working on a really big used records drop. So we're working hard on it, so trying to get as many really cool records from our vault out on that day. And it'll be the same thing, a little nice add-on, but same, no holds, no shipping. We really just want to celebrate that day with our local customers and have a little extra thing there for all of y'all that are planning on coming by that day. All right, so let's get right in. And for that used records drop, just want to say real quick, keep tuned in to our Instagram and Facebook at 22 Sound Records, so follow us over there. As we get closer to it, we'll put up a little sneak peek so you have a little idea of what records to expect there. Alright, so these are the Black Friday titles. So starting with the little ones and then go in alphabetical order. Hey, isn't that fitting? Holiday season kickoff. Cheech and Chong, here's Santa Claus and his old lady. That's a 7-inch there. Another 7-inch for Silver Sun pickups with Butch Vig, of course, one of the absolute legendary producers. Might have heard some of the records he worked on, maybe that thing called Nevermind. I think that's what it was. So you might be familiar with him. Big guy. Little bigger here, 10-inch. We have Motley Crue. This is the tour EP, or kind of like a remake of the Girls, Girls, Girls tour EP, the European leg of the tour in 1988. If I'm not mistaken, that leg of the tour actually got cancelled. May have had something to do with, I don't know, an unhealthy lifestyle. Not sure, but hey, that's some cool stuff on here, really cool collector's item for sure. And all those songs are absolutely great on it. Wild Side might be one of my favorite Motley Crue songs. Definitely one of my favorite riffs. That riff is amazing. And You're All I Need, I always say, man, that is the most underrated 80s ballad. If it wasn't about Nicky killing his girlfriend, I think that would have been one of the biggest hits of the 80s. What an amazing song. All right, going in alphabetical order now. We're getting to the big ones. The Appleseed cast reissuing Sagarmatha. Hope I'm saying this right. I'm from Switzerland, so hey, if you hear any, mispronunciations, I'm just gonna play the foreigner card. Sorry. All right, here we have Augustus Pablo with Thriller. That's a really nice makeup. I have to say, sometimes kind of hard to get good reggae records for us to get them in the store. Not that we don't want to, other than Bob Marley. So really nice to have some cool reggae here. Something that we actually haven't seen in the store yet. But only been around for about a year, but it's always exciting to get some artists here that we haven't had a chance to carry here at the store yet. Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, Cheek to Cheek, live records. Then we have Frank Black and the Catholics. One More Road for the Hit. Next up is, let's see here. Next up is Black Label Society. This is a really nice one. Greatest hits package from Black Label Society, Scullage. I'm really looking forward to that. It's cool that we have that here. Then here, this is a pretty fun one. Blink-182. Hey, they've been in the news. Just announced a big reunion. These are lullaby renditions of their songs, of a lot of their songs, a lot of their big hits. You might be familiar with this Rockabye Baby series. They have some pretty big bands on there. I remember one was for the Smiths, for instance. But yeah, always kind of fun to hear those songs as lullabies. So if you have a little baby and tired of the same old lullabies, that might be one for you. Then we have Bobby Digital coming at you twice. We have this one here, Ditchy Snacks, and then we have another one, Digital Potion. Alright, then next up we have David Bowie. David definitely one of the Record Store Day, Black Friday staples. I feel like almost every time there's some Bowie release, but hey, he was just such a prolific artist. These are some outtakes from the Next Day sessions. And then we have actually more David Bowie. This is a legendary moment in music history. Two music legends together, David Bowie and Bing Crosby. They're reissuing this, the Peace on Earth and Little Drummer Boy single on a nice 12-inch. Something for the blues fans out here, Big Bill Brunsey live in Amsterdam in 1953. So I gotta say, I think the list is a really nice, colorful list. There's like all kinds of different styles, different eras on there. So really is a nice mix, a little bit for everybody. Next up we have the Jim Carroll Band with a reissue of Catholic Boy. One for the Devo fans out there. Devo's Gerald Casal with the Invisible Man EP. Then here comes one that I think is going to be really big seller, Cure, with a reissue of Wish, one of their biggest albums. This is coming out on Picture Disc. Yeah, it's always one of those things, like I'm guessing kind of like which ones are going to be really popular. But I think this might be one that's going to be gone pretty early. So if you're looking for that, I'm just saying, might be a good idea to come here kind of early. And if the Dead Milkmen, Metaphysical Graffiti, get it? Fun stuff. All right, this one might take the title for the coolest cover, I think. The Doors, this is a live record with all kinds of blues songs on there. Robbie Krieger actually painted this really cool cover. Back here we have Albert King lighting a cigarette for Jim Morrison. How nice is that? All right. Then another big highlight, another one that I think will sell out pretty quickly. This is Dream Widow. In case you're not familiar with them, this is basically Foo Fighters playing death metal. You might have seen the movie, the Foo Fighters horror movie. Of course, the timing was really unfortunate. Really, it was right around the time that Taylor passed away that the movie came out, so that kind of overshadowed everything. And I remember when the movie first was announced and the soundtrack to it, of course, that I was kind of hoping it would be a Record Store Day release. It just seems like the perfect day for that. That's kind of the cool stuff about Record Store Day Black Friday. So I was really excited when I saw that on the list. So I think that's going to be a really big seller. Really cool that they're actually putting it out on vinyl. And here, Duran Duran, in their heyday, Hammersmith, one of the most legendary concert venues there are. Hammersmith in 1982. Then we have Billie Eilish with a reissue of last year's album, Happier Than Ever. This comes on a rainbow foil stock, so you can kind of see it here, I think, in the camera. And if I'm not mistaken, I think on recycled vinyl. Don't quote me that, but I thought that's what it was. Then we have here Engine Kit, and it's kind of cool that this is a whole 12-inch album, comes with this little 7-inch in the package. Something for hip-hop fans here. EPMD's We Mean Business. Pretty impressive list of guest appearances. Redman, Method Man, Mobb Deep, Keith Murray, Skyzoo. Love Skyzoo. That great guy. So that's definitely a big one for hip hop fans out there. With Brian Ferry's Taxi being reissued, then we have the Flying Burrito Brothers with a live album that's live at the Bottom Line, another legendary club in New York City in 1976. Next up are Fountains of Wayne with a reissue of Traffic and Weather. One of those albums that really was people were waiting for finally a vinyl release on that. I think came on 2007, if I'm not mistaken, for the first time. Yeah, 2007. That's a classic at this point in time. Ace Frehley, the coolest guy in Kiss, obviously. Here's a nice picture disc of Origins Volume 2. And if I'm not mistaken, I felt like I remember that they were saying that it comes with a Christmas card. And, again, don't call me that. It's a lot of records. Sometimes it's hard to keep track. All right. Wouldn't be Record Store Day or Black Friday if there wasn't any type of Tangerine Dream related release. Here we are. It's Edgar Freeze's first. I think that was his first solo album. Yeah, first solo album, originally released in 1974. Aqua. Then one for the punk fans out there. GBH reissuing City Baby, Attacked by Rats. That's coming out on lime green vinyl. A lot of these records too, to make them extra special, come out on nice colored vinyl. Or we have, for instance, this one here. Picture this, Ghost, one of the biggest rock bands really in recent years. I'm amazed by how popular they have been able to become. Always cool when a band from the rock metal world kind of breaks out. I'm supporting that. I'm always happy about that. Bringing more people to the cause of nice guitar music. And then we have Goldfinger, another pop punk, you can say, band. Some fond memories of Goldfinger show quite a while ago. Man, getting old. Heartbreakers. This is from the LAMF sessions, so these are like some demos, unreleased stuff. They just reissued the actual album maybe like a few months ago or so. So this nice little companion piece, if you were able to snatch that. We actually have, as of taping of this video, one copy of that one here at the store as well. Jimi Hendrix, Burning Desire. What was that? That was 1969, 1970 studio recordings. I think it came out as a bootleg long time ago now, so they were doing it like a real official reissue. Etta James, she is super popular at our store. I have to say her stuff always sells really well. Rightfully so, legendary artist. This is Edda is Better Than Ever, an album that was originally released in 1976, getting a reissue here for Black Friday. Then something for blues guys here. Skip James, 1931 session, so really going back at this point almost 100 years ago. This is a cool little jazz record. The Jazz Dispensary is a nice little compilation album here, pressed on pink splatter vinyl. Here, big moment in classic rock history, of course, the Monterey International Pop Festival, maybe the most legendary festival other than Woodstock. Yeah, maybe in some ways even more important than Woodstock. It was a little early in 1967, so that was Jefferson Airplane's legendary performance, now being pressed on vinyl. Then we have here a reissue of a record I haven't seen around in a while, the Jesus Lizard with Shot. Well, yeah, it was the first ever LP reissue, so you can imagine, by the time frame, it was probably not that many put out originally, so definitely something that many people have been waiting for to finally see reissued on vinyl. And we have here Janis Joplin and Jorma Kaukonen, hoping I'm saying his name right, off Jefferson Airplane. So two legendary artists here. This is the typewriter tape. This was at Jorma's house recorded. So this is like a really nice way of hearing like some legendary musicians, like in a really stripped down setting. Cool little moment in time. I always love when they do things like that for Black Friday records. So they kind of like open the vaults and show some artists in a little bit of a different setting. It's always pretty cool. Then here, this is a big one. I think here for us, like I said, I'm always kind of guessing what is going to be big here, but I think this one is Kitty. I think there was a second album. The first one was reissued for Record Store Day in April. That was like sold out like right away. So we do have a few copies here. But yeah, there's another one where I would say if you want one of those, you might want to show up here pretty early. KSI, Dissimulation Deluxe, Lonnie Mac, what's it called? Strike Like Lightning. See him here with Stevie Ray in the back. Another one for hip hop fans, Madlib, one of the greatest producers in the game. That's from his Medicine Show series. This one is number 11. Madonna. This is the 40th anniversary reissue of her very first 12-inch single, Everybody. Then we have some soundtracks here too. We'll have a few more coming up. This one is Mimic. Especially horror soundtracks, of course, always come out with really cool packaging and all, oftentimes. Got some jazz for you, Charles Mingus, Candid, and then a little more jazz right here, Monk. Yeah, we got that here in the classic quartet. This was recorded originally in 1963. Then, reissue of more of the Monkees. And yeah, this one is something that we've seen the past few Record Store Days / Black Fridays. Motorhead's the Lost Tapes. This is the third one, so they keep putting out those cool old live recordings. This one is Malmö, Sweden, in 2000. So that was the We Are Motorhead tour. Really cool set list. I always think, that era of Motorhead's sometimes a little underrated. They were really great too in that era, but the set list is really like a nice mix of like the big classics from a little early in their career and the stuff they were doing at the time. Really cool stuff for the Motorhead fans. Nashville Pussy. This is a green and white vinyl reissue of Say Something Nasty. Then we have Olivia Newton-John and her legendary album Physical on a picture disc. We have some legendary pop punk here, overwhelming, color fast. The reissue of this is the 30th anniversary. Again, Butch Vig actually produced this. And Butch Vig has a few appearances here. Pack Div, the Div. Anyway, that's an interesting one. Hey, why not? My Little Pony. I have a little boy. I'm glad that he's not watching that. I gotta be honest. Haven't been exposed to that yet. Let's see what time brings. Old 97s. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the performing Johnny Cash song. So that's a cool little thing here. And then we have pink vinyl of Iggy Pop's Après. Alright, getting to the last box, Shadows Fall. I think that's going to be a pretty big one too for some people. The Art of Balance, that kind of era, of course, that is when vinyl was not super popular, so it was really hard to get that kind of stuff on vinyl. So I gotta say, I think the Shadows Fall was for me one of the favorite bands of that new wave of American heavy metal, as it was called at the time. That kind of mixing metal with hardcore, really lots of melodies in there. Really like them, especially they had really some cool thrashy riffs. They are big Metallica influence, I would say. Cool band, definitely. Well, Silverstein with Arrivals and Departures. And here, Smash Mouth. Alright, and hey, it is Christmas season. Dee Snider and Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm. The magic of Christmas Day. Hey, gotta have some Christmas records here. Yeah, we're pulling out the Christmas records too. We have a bunch here. But hey, I always think that's the best way to get in the spirit is to listen to the holiday music. Rick Springfield's Jesse's Girl, reissue, the 40th anniversary reissue of. That is one catchy song. Love that song. All right, here we have Ringo twice. Ringo, so a little older, Ringo the Fourth here, and then Ringo more recently with his all-star band that's live at the Greek Theater in 2019. Then Joe Strummer is next. Not a record store day staple. This is live at the Music Millennium in 1999. Alright, we got the Supremes with a reissue of Where Did Our Love Go? 62 years. Yeah, they're really going back in time here. Then we have Ultravox with Rage in Eden. Also here, this is the Steven Wilson mix. Steven Wilson of Porcupine Tree. Also an amazing producer and mixer. So that's his mix that they pressed here on vinyl. On to others. Really cool, pretty new band. I would say I really love this album. Strength was their second album, I think. Really cool band, kind of like has a goth kind of vibe, but really definitely like metal riffing in there. And they really write great songs. And this is kind of like the companion piece to the regular albums. The deep cuts, some unreleased songs from that same sessions. Definitely curious about that. Jim Ward, legendary guy. Jim Ward from Sparta. Half a World Away. Alrighty, and then, sorry, here, kind of stretching myself over here. Here is another movie soundtrack, Waxwork. This, it's kind of hard to show it here, but there's a little cutout here. So really nice packaging. They're really putting a lot of effort into making this like a whole cool thing, not just a record, but like the whole packaging. It's part of the deal. Then, one of probably the biggest albums of the year in the pop world, The Weeknd's Dawn FM, came out on vinyl earlier this year, so now it's coming out again with a totally different cover. So that's, I'm guessing, gonna be really popular one as well. When we had his, the regular version, I think it was like in April or so, that went really fast. So here is your chance again if you missed the regular one. We're all going to the World's Fair, another movie soundtrack on aqua blue vinyl. And last but not least, Brian Wilson, Long Promised Road. So that's the official soundtrack to the Brian Wilson movie. All right, yeah, so that's it. So to our local customers, just want to say again, we're opening at 10 a.m. on Black Friday, so 2 hours earlier than normal. Don't really know what to expect, to be honest. I mean, this is really just a second Black Friday, third Record Store Day related event altogether. For Record Store Day, we had a big line out the door. I don't know if it's going to be the same for Black Friday, we'll see. But yeah, if you want some of those specific titles, eyeing some specific titles, might be good to be here a little early, but hey, I'm just guessing to be honest. But just looking forward to it. It's so many really cool records here. Like I said, we're working on a nice used drop as well, so hopefully there's some cool records in there as well that you're going to be excited about. Like I said, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at 22 Sound Records. We'll put up a little sneak peek so you have a little idea of what to expect there. And yeah, let's just celebrate a really cool day together. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, stay up to date, and if you're not in the area but you want to support us, independent record store, family owned, check out our website 22soundrecords.com. You can order the record straight from us, straight to your house. Really appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. See you around.